Hi fight fans, and welcome to another MMA fighting video. The rivalry between Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards had come to an end, and the Jamaican-born Brit had his hands raised in the trilogy, shutting the Usman chapter in his book. While in the previous bout, the Nigerian Nightmare was a dominant fighter who was winning the bout up until the infamous head kick, the trilogy was very different, and Leon displayed superiority over Kamaru throughout the whole fight. Rocky was the betting underdog in this fight, and people believed that Usman would make an effortless work of him. However, the Jamaican shocked the world again by defeating his bitter rival on the scorecards. The UFC community could not stay silent and shared their thoughts on the fight. We'll look into how the MMA community reacted, but before that, we'll briefly analyze the fight and see why they reacted that way. Leon Edwards vs. Kamaru Usman 3. Even before they entered the octagon, it was apparent what the game plan was for each of those fighters. Leon was going to try keeping Usman at bay, picking him apart with kicks and striking combos, while the Nigerian was going to try to close the distance, get his rival to a clinch position, and eventually score a takedown where he could implement his deadly ground and pound. It was a matter of who would implement his game plan better to win the fight. Unlike the first bout, Usman greatly respected Leon's skills, measuring and calculating his moves without doing anything reckless. Leon, on the other hand, was circling around and was keeping his mind ready to defend a takedown. Leon was very sharp with his striking. He kept attacking Usman's legs, wildly kicking his lead leg from inside and outside. Also, he used John Jones' favorite technique, the oblique kick and the side kick to the knee. At the same time, constantly throwing middle kicks would eventually lead to a distraction and putting the guard down to defend the midsection. That would have allowed Leon to land another perfectly placed high kick that would have ultimately knocked Usman again. Nevertheless, that scenario never happened, but at the same time, he managed to land a couple of partially blocked high kicks that got Usman's attention. Usman fought well, but this time Leon was ready for his takedowns. Every time Kamaru closed the distance and attempted a takedown, Leon isolated Usman's right hand, preventing him from locking his hands and taking him down. Usman tried this technique repeatedly, but failed almost every time since Leon knew what to expect and how to defend against it. Usman managed to score a few takedowns, but didn't do anything special with it. The Jamaican was getting up quickly, not allowing Usman to implement his ground control game and ground and pound. We have to mention that Leon was the dirty fighter in that bout, and he was deducted a point as a result. In the third round, after trying to escape a position, Edwards stood up, but Usman followed him with a body lock. When the Nigerian tried to take Leon back to the canvas, the Jamaican grabbed the fence, preventing Usman from scoring the takedown. The referee, Herb Dean, saw this and rightfully deducted a point from Edwards. This wasn't the only time Leon did a dirty trick. He repeatedly kicked Usman to the groin, and despite being an intentional move, he did that more than a few times, seriously distracting his opponent from his game plan. At the same time, Leon grabbed Usman's glove and poked him in the eye. Not to take anything away from Leon, considering that all he did was unintentional, but we must mention that Usman had to deal with all those dirty tricks to come victorious. Usman fought well, but Leon fought even better. It wasn't a domination where Edwards completely destroyed Usman, but it was a fight in which the Brit perfectly implemented his game plan and edged his rival on the scorecards. He wasn't letting Usman get close and kept picking him apart with kicks. Whenever Usman tried to close the distance and get Edwards to a clinch position, Rocky would threaten with knees, elbows, and strikes, making Kamaru think twice before attacking that way again. At the end of the 5-round bout, Leon Edwards defeated Usman via unanimous decision, and this is how the UFC community reacted to that. By the way, if you like the video so far, don't forget to hit that like button. The UFC community reacts. Fighters and journalists stormed Twitter with their thoughts and shared their opinions on the fight. While most thought Leon did enough to edge his rival on the scorecards, some thought this fight was a robbery. Islam Makhachev tweeted, "I want Leon next, October in Abu Dhabi." Terrence McKenney said, "Great fight from both, he really is Rocky." Chris Weidman said, "Wow, with the point, these are one of those fights I want to watch back again tomorrow. I thought Usman won." Jamahal Hill says, "Draw at the belt, and they do it a 4th time for the 2nd time in history." Randy Brown said, "Clear Leon win, #andstill." BJ Penn said, "And still, UFC286. Kelvin Gastelum said, "I feel like Usman's main goal tonight is to make the O2 arena go silent." Aljamain Sterling said, "I don't know how to score this at all." Ariel Helwani said, 2018 Edwards, round 1 wasn't close, round 2 can definitely be Usman's second. Jamahal Hill said Leon's check hook is landing and it only takes a clean one. Ariel Helwani again said, "Crucial point taken away from Leon for a fence grab, agree with the call." Aljamain Sterling said, "I think that point deduction is the deciding factor. I think Edward wins this closely or it's a draw. What do you all think?" Ricky Simon says, "I think Usman takes it." Ode Osborne says, "Big up my Jamaican brother for the win. Kingston, let's go." Alexander Rakic says the WW title stays in Europe, congrats to Leon. Alan Juban said neither man really took any significant damage in those 5 rounds. Michael Mallet said Leon's a bad man. Jasmine Jasudavicius said, and still, what a fight. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan said robbery, hell no, Kamaru won that fight. Billy Quarantillo said super close fight, judges probably gave the close rounds to their homie. Bilal Muhammad said lol, they're trying so hard to give Colby the coward the shot. Uriah Hall said damn, lost a point and still won, I thought it was a close fight, good fight fellas. And Colby Covington said, see you in July, Leon. Islam Makhachev and Colby Covington want Leon Edwards next. Out of all the tweets, let's analyze the ones posted by Makhachev and Covington. The lightweight champion Islam Makhachev tweeted that he wants Leon Edwards in Abu Dhabi in October. The interesting thing about this is that he's aiming to become a double champ. The Russian never showed much interest in becoming a double champ, and it looks like Leon defeating Usman changed that. Usman and Makhachev have the same manager, and they're friends. Moving up to a division to face Kamaru for the welterweight belt was not an option for Islam due to obvious reasons. However, now that Leon holds that title, the Russian finally wishes to move up and fight for a second belt. Considering that Edwards is a striker, Makhachev might be a bad matchup for him, and it looks like Islam sees him as someone who can be taken down easily. But let's not forget what just happened. Leon went toe-to-toe against one of the best wrestlers in the UFC, and defended almost all of his takedowns. If Edwards managed to do that against Kamaru, then why would a fight against Islam be any different? Well, the first thing to point out is that Islam, unlike Kamaru, is a chain wrestler that will keep attempting takedowns one after another and fluently move from one clinch position to another. Also, Islam is a sambo and judo specialist, and he can take down Edwards from a clinch position in many different ways. While Usman kept attempting the double leg takedown, Islam has many more takedown techniques at his disposal, and Edwards might not be able to defend them all. Leon was able to defend Usman's takedowns because the Nigerian used the same technique repeatedly, shooting for a double leg takedown from a distance. Each time he did that, Leon was isolating Usman's right hand, preventing him from locking the hands that would have led to a takedown. But Makhachev is a different kind of animal. He can shoot for a single or double leg takedown from a distance and score a takedown from a clinch position. Once he grabs hold of your body, it's almost inevitable that you'll hit the canvas, considering the Russian fighter's superior judo and sambo credentials. However, it seems that the UFC isn't interested in this fight right now. The UFC president, Dana White, mentioned that he wants to see Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards for the welterweight title next. Now, Covington is a terrible match for Edwards. Covington stays at your face the whole time and doesn't let you breathe. If Colby fights Leon, he won't give him any space to throw kicks and implement his striking game. Colby is a cardio freak and would keep Leon on the back foot the whole fight. He'd mix his striking with constant takedown attempts, which would exhaust the current champ, like many others that Colby fought before. Suppose these two are scheduled to fight for the title next. In that case, you can expect a Usman versus Leon 1 scenario, when the Nigerian Nightmare mixed his striking with wrestling and unanimously defeated Rocky. At the end of the day, it all comes down to what Dana White and the UFC management team decide. Would you guys like to see Islam Makhachev fighting Leon for the welterweight title? Or do you believe Colby Covington deserves a title shot next? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you'd like to watch more content like this, please make sure to like and subscribe.